Welcome to another Foundations video where we're going to talk about building in the context of our worship sets. And as drummers, we are the greatest influencers of the dynamics of a song. And so because of that, we've got to get this right and we've got to approach it with strategy. So today we're going to talk about a couple principles that you can apply so you can be as effective as you can be. The first way that you can be effective in building is by considering how you can add movement within your build. The first way you can do this is by adding fills. So you're already doing this more than likely in verses and choruses of songs. And why do you do that? You probably do that in an effort to keep it from getting stale. As you play an entire chorus or an entire verse, you want to do this to kind of take it to the next level or add in something to sprinkle in some variety. In the same way, whenever you're building, you can do this, especially if you're building for a long time. You can sprinkle in a couple fills to kind of keep things interesting and keep your build from being stale. The second way that you can add movement is what are called sub-builds. And these are smaller crescendos throughout the larger build so that once again, you can create kind of a pulse as you move toward the destination of the climax of your build. The third thing you can do is move from less frequent hits to more frequent hits. So you probably know by now that you can move your hands a lot faster than you can move your right foot as you play kick. So maybe this is going to be different for your hands versus your feet, but in the same way for both, you can go from less frequent to more frequent hits. So maybe with your hands, you can start off with eighth notes and move to 16th notes or even 32nd notes. And maybe for your feet, specifically your right foot on kick, you can go from quarter notes to even eighth notes as you progress through the build and escalate your build. So what we're going to do right now is demonstrate what it's going to look like back to back for us to play one build doing absolutely none of the things that we just talked about. And then immediately after, we're going to play the exact same build, but we're going to add in some of the principles that we just discussed. And I hope you can feel the difference. The second principle you can apply is considering where and how you can add variety. And you can do this in a myriad of ways. One way is to not always build in the same place on the kit. So sometimes you can build on the snare and maybe floor tom. Maybe later in the set you can build on snare and ride. In any case, consider where you can add variety with where you're actually playing on the kit. Another thing you can do is from song to song, even within your set, maybe don't always build in the same way. It's really easy as a drummer to fall back into routines of building kind of the same way every time. And I would encourage you to take the extra time to really think about how you're going to build and where you're going to build so that you can add variety and not always build in the same way and keep them effective and keep it fresh. The third and last big principle that you can apply is simply to plan and come prepared. And this may sound really easy, but I want to encourage you that as the greatest contributor to dynamics, there is value in you taking time to think about where you're going to build, when and how are you going to build? Where on the drum kit are you going to build within the song and within your set? Don't be the person who builds too big too fast. Know exactly how long within each song you're going to build. Don't build maybe on an 8-measure build. Don't build to the climax within 4 measures and be stuck playing 4 measures too big because you didn't prepare and you didn't know exactly how long it was beforehand. So understand that your build has value. The ways that you add variety, the way that you create movement has value and makes a big difference. So continue to press in, have a plan before you arrive for your event so that you can be as effective as you can be. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, please feel free to email us at worship@grace-bible.org. We'll see you next time.